Your Majesty and Excellencies, please wave for the camera. Thank you, Your Majesty and Excellencies. Please be seated.
Shall we begin? Your Majesty and Excellencies, a very warm welcome to Premier Li Keqiang, President Moon Jae-in, who is being represented by his Foreign Minister for the time being, and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to the 21st ASEAN Plus Three Summit. Since its formation, the ASEAN Plus Three has brought its members closer. We've weathered storms together, such as the 2003 SARS outbreak and the 2008 global financial crisis. Trade flows amongst the group have accelerated impressively, transforming East Asia into one of the world's most prosperous regions. Last year, ASEAN's trade in goods with the Plus Three countries totaled over $800 billion US, accounting for more than 30% of ASEAN's merchandise trade. We have cooperation in many important domains that directly touch our people's lives, like education, finance, and food security. This year, we've paid particular attention to healthcare, and I'm glad we'll be issuing the APT Leaders' Statement on Cooperation Against Antimicrobial Resistance today, which will drive our collective efforts to tackle this pressing challenge. We find ourselves at this point in an unpredictable strategic landscape. Major power rivalry is on the rise, manifesting itself in competing visions for the regional architecture and in a growing trade war. The digital revolution has empowered us to forge closer networks than ever possible. At the same time, it has made us more vulnerable to cyber attacks. These developments call for the APT members to close ranks and to redouble our efforts to uphold multilateralism, because we must continue to maintain an open, rules-based and inclusive global trade environment for us all to prosper. I look forward to productive discussions today, and now I invite Premier Li Keqiang to deliver his opening remarks as chair of the Trilateral Summit.
李显龙总理，
Prime
各
Minister
位
Li,
同事，很高
dear
兴出席第
colleagues, it is my
21
great pleasure
次
to attend the
东
21st
盟和
ASEAN Plus
中日韩领导人
China,
的
Japan, and
会议。
ROK Summit.
我谨对新加坡政府为会议
I wish to thank
做出的精
the
心
Singapore government for its
准备和周到
thoughtful
安排，表
preparations
示
and organization
诚挚的感
for the
谢。
meeting.
正像刚才李显龙总
As
理
Prime
所
Minister
说，
Li pointed out just now,
我们在应对国际金融危机当中，
together
东
we
盟和中日韩的
tackled the global
合作
financial
机制
crisis in
发挥了重要作用。
2008, and
可以
the
说
APT mechanism
功不
or
可没。
framework played a pivotal
当前
role,
又出现
which should claim credit.
贸易保护主义抬头，
And right now, the world is facing rising
我们需要
protectionism.
来应
It
对
is all the more important
错综复杂的
for
形
us
势，
to come
来
together
维护
and respond to the
多边主义、
complex world situation,
自由贸易。
uphold multilateralism,
昨天
free trade.
我们召开了
Yesterday,
RCEP
we
领导人
held
的
the
会议
RCEP leaders meeting.
多方都表示
Many parties
要
have made it
尽
clear
力去推进最后
that
阶段的
efforts should be
谈判，
redoubled to finish the
早日
final
达成一
stretch
个
of the negotiation and to
现代
endeavor
的
to
全面
achieve a modern,
高水
comprehensive,
平的
and
互利
high
共赢的
standard and mutually
自贸协定。
beneficial free trade arrangement.
中国和日本、韩国
China,
也
Japan,
在
and
开展中日
the
韩
ROK are
自贸
also
区
discussing
谈判
a。free trade area among us.
我们希望这两个谈判
It is
的
our
进
hope
程，
that these two processes could be
而且我们更
advanced
希望
in parallel and in a balanced way.
东盟方式、东盟主导的 RCEP 的谈判，
At the same
因为它
time,
的范
the
围和规模更
RCEP
大，
negotiation, which is led
早日
by
达成
ASEAN,
但
which is also a
中日韩
larger
的
scope free trade
自贸与谈判
arrangement, could be reached at
会
an early date.
按照我
The
们三
China
方商量的时
ROK
间表
Japan
加快
free trade
推进，
negotiation will be
因为
advanced according to the
我们要
time
用
frame
实
we
际
have
的
agreed upon.
举措
Because we
来
need
维
to
护
take
基于规则
concrete
的
actions to
自
uphold
由贸易，
rules-based free
来
trade
向
regime
市场发出
and to send
积
a
极的信号，
message, a
来
positive
给市
message
场
to the market
提供可预期的、
to provide
稳定的、
stable,
自由化、法治化的环境和
predictable,
条件。我认
free
为
and law-based
这既是我们
environment and
对
conditions
地区
for the
发展
market.
做出的贡献，
If we can
也是
do
为
that, that is a
地区的和
contribution
平和
by
稳
us
定
to regional development
在
and also to world peace
提
and
供
stability.
保障和基础。
By doing that, we are
谢谢。
providing a strong guarantee. Thank you.
Premier Li. Now I call upon Korea.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Excellencies, I have the great honor of delivering the following opening remarks on behalf of President Moon Jae-in. 리센능 총리님, 정상 여러분.
Prime Minister Lee Hsien-loong, Excellencies, recalling the old saying that a friend in need is a friend indeed, I extend my greetings to you all. In the face of the 1997 Asian financial crisis, we came together, crossing borders and regions to overcome the crisis. We united under the name of East Asia, and we have grown to grab the world's attention as a cooperative mechanism that take up more than 30% of the global economy. I pay tribute to the wisdom and determination of the leaders of the previous generation who had faith in the power of solidarity and cooperation. 20 years later, we are united once again, coming face to face with the Korean Peninsula issue, which was once the biggest threat to East Asian security.
Over the past year, South and North Korea had held 3 summits, with the first historic U.S.-North Korea summit being held right here in Singapore. Departing from what seemed to be clueless and hopeless challenges, we are now tackling issues with the power of unity, paving the way for an era of peace. This can be ascribed to the East Asian leaders and people who have been our true friends, striving to develop this community. Whatever challenges lie ahead of us in East Asia, I firmly believe that we can tide over if we are together and mobilize our power, and our dream of building an East Asian community will be boldly realized, and ASEAN Plus Three will be at the center of that. Today, I hope we can share the progress we have made thus far while embodying concrete steps to materialize mutually beneficial cooperation. Thank you.
Now I call upon Prime Minister Abe of Japan.
I would like to express my gratitude once again to Prime Minister Lee and the Singapore Korean government for the welcome extended to me. Last month, I made an official visit to China for the first time in 7 years and engaged in frank discussions with President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang of the State Council, and we were able to agree on playing a constructive role toward peace and prosperity of the international community. Under such circumstances, I am happy to see that the leaders of ASEAN, Japan, China, and Korea are able to gather here today to discuss the various challenges of the region. The ASEAN Plus Three started as a cooperation in finance, but the areas covered have been expanded to include food security, poverty eradication, culture, tourism, youth exchanges, among others. Going forward, Japan will focus in particular on the environment, disaster risk reduction, and health care. On the environment, I wish to see enhanced intra-regional cooperation on what is becoming a serious challenge, which is that of marine plastic debris. To this end, Japan advocated the ASEAN Plus Three Marine Plastic Debris Cooperative Action Initiative, and I welcome the support we were able to garner from the respective countries. We will cooperate with China and Korea to build institutions in the ASEAN countries for the 3 Rs and disposal of waste, to provide support to putting in place and improving infrastructure, and to promote the sharing of scientific findings. In light of the lessons of the frequently occurring disasters, Japan is promoting CDRIF, the Southeast Asia Disaster Risk Insurance Facility. With cooperation from Singapore and the World Bank, we will put into operation the disaster risk insurance pool targeting Laos and Myanmar around the middle of 2019. And will aim to roll out to the respective countries of ASEAN in the future. With the Philippines, under the ASEAN Plus Three APTA, the Emergency Rice Reserve Agreement, we have signed a memorandum which makes it possible to supply rice of the order of 10,000 tons in case of a disaster. For the stable continued operation of APTA, the APTA agreement is to be revised, which is something that we welcome. Aging is an issue that the region cannot avoid. Japan, under the Asia Health and Human Well-being Initiative, will realize a balanced and broad-based health care. As nations that provide the traction for East Asia, if ASEAN, Japan, China, and Korea unite, we can generate a powerful process toward the resolution of even challenges of a global scale. Toward the future, Japan wishes to continue to contribute toward the strengthening of cooperation between the ASEAN Plus Three. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister Abe.